Okay, kia ora te whānau, welcome to my shed. In this series, I'm going to be showing you my process of how I go from a design concept all the way to a finished piece of whakairo. Much like this piece right here. But before we do that, we need some tools. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the 5 tools / materials that you need to create your own piece of whakairo. Let's get into it. Material number 1, you obviously need something to carve. So that's where the wood comes in. Now, you can use any wood you have laying around the house. It could be some old pine boards from your shed. You might have some oak, that big board, or those boards there behind me, those are all oak. You might have something nice like that. You might even be able to source your own native timber. But if you're just starting out, this is the wood I would suggest. This is MDF, or medium density fiberboard. Just learnt that yesterday. It's basically wood fibers that are mixed with resin and wax and then pressed under high heat and pressure to create these flat boards. Now you can find them in any kind of hardware store, in Bunnings and Mitre 10. If you're in America, I'm sure they're probably in Home Depot, and they're very accessible. They come in any multiple thicknesses and lengths. So the reason why I say to start with this is because it's very forgiving. As a beginner, it's got no grain, so that's one thing you already don't have to worry about, but it's just easy to work with. Some people will argue, oh, you can't use MDF if you're carving with MDF, it's not real carving, and yada yada yada. Kei a koe, over to you, right? This board right here, I created this a few years ago when I was at the Wānanga, and this is an MDF board, right? It holds its shape pretty well, but you can still create some quality mihi with MDF. Tool / material number 2, or tuarua as we say in Māori. You need something to mark your surface with, all right? Unless you've got a pair of eyes that can see into the rako and see the design without having to draw it, then if you don't have that, you need a device to mark the wood with. I know, sounds pretty common sense, but you know, this is what you need. A pencil, chalk, Sharpies, right? Anything you can find around the house. A whiteboard marker, use whatever you've got, okay? I was always taught to use chalk and crayon. Reason being, it's just easier to clean off, to be honest. You can use a real dark pencil. Obviously you can rub it off, but you might draw on it too dark, and then you've got to use sandpaper, and then it just turns into a whole nother thing, all right? So chalk or crayon used to mark the surface. Now that we have our board, something to mark with, now we need something to actually carve with. So it's where your chisels come in. In this case, if I was to suggest just one chisel, it would be a V chisel, right? A 1210, a 1310, anything. Any kind of V chisel, maybe not something too wide, right? This is what we use to create our high lines, or the cuts, the actual cuts that we do into the wood itself. All of these lines here, see those lines there, those are high lines. High means to cut, okay? And all of this was done with just a V chisel and a gouge to do the eyes. Here in New Zealand, the only place I know to source a V chisel is from a website called Carve. Now they've always either not in stock or they're sold out, so you've just got to email the team to let them know that you want some V chisels, and they'll probably be able to hook you up. If I was to chuck in a couple of others, maybe like an 813 for like eyes, and probably a 3 or a 2, a flat of some sort, right? But tool toru number 3 is your chisel, and in this case we use a V. Big girl, over here. All right, we've got our rako, we have our marking device, we have our chisel. Now we need something to actually hit the chisel so that we can carve. Yes, it might sound like common sense, but you'd be surprised at how much people would ask, what are these specific things I need to start carving? And right here, we have our mallet, or what we call a kuru. Kuru come in many shapes and sizes. You can have square ones, circle ones. This one's like an oval one. I made this one myself like ages ago. It's made out of pōtukawa, which is quite a dense and hard wood. This one I wouldn't really use for the type of mihi that I'm going to do. It'd be more for like delicate work because it's real small. This one here is quite heavy. This is also made from pōtukawa. I would probably use this one for like blocking out. This one right here, this Frankenstein looking thing is the one I use the most. It's got the best weight to it, and I don't know, it feels good in my hands, so that's why I use it the most. You're probably wondering what it's wrapped in. It's just a bit of foam padding and some duct tape, just as a noise nullifier, to be honest. I should also mention, right, you don't have to make your own. You can buy them from carve, from Bunnings. Those mallets work just as well. You just need something to hit the chisel. So there you have it, tool number 4, your kuru, or your mallet. And that gets us to our last tool, which is just patience. You just gotta have a hell of a lot of patience. My first experience carving at the wānanga was shocking. I was going in with all this confidence, ambition, and I was like, yep, nah, it's in the blood. I've got it down packed. This is my thing. I'm gonna go and pursue this. As soon as chisel hit wood, yeah, humbled me very, very quickly. It's just like any skill. It just takes time, a lot of practice, and the more you keep doing it, the better you'll get. So there you go, e te whānau, the 5 essential tools that you need to create your own piece of whakairo. If I've missed out any tools, let me know in the comments, or let me know what your 5 tools are. If you found any value in this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up because it helps heaps, and make sure that you're subscribed, because remember, in this series I'll be taking you through my process on how I go from design to creating my own piece of whakairo. I appreciate you all, e te whānau. Thanks so much for being in my shed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.